Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The world loves to put us in boxes. They'll say, this is who you are, this is what you're capable of, and these are the rules you need to follow. But who wrote those rules? And more importantly, why should we follow them? Thinking different is not just a choice. It's a rebellion. It's looking at what everyone else accepts and saying, no, I see it my way. It's about owning your uniqueness, your quirks, your perspective. When you think differently, you don't just see problems, you see solutions nobody else has thought of. You don't just dream, you act. And you don't just exist, you create something extraordinary. But here's the thing, thinking differently isn't easy. It's not glamorous, it's messy, it's hard, it's lonely at times. You'll stumble, you'll fall. People might laugh, question, or doubt you. But that's the price of being extraordinary, isn't it? Thinking differently is not about being louder or bolder for the sake of attention. So I ask you this, are you ready to break out of the box? Are you ready to challenge what they say is normal or possible? Because the world doesn't need more followers, it needs leaders. It needs visionaries. It needs you. We live in a world where everyone seems to be trying to fit into a mold. We're constantly told to follow a set path, to look like everyone else, to think like everyone else, and to act like everyone else. But what if the true power lies not in fitting in, but in standing out? What if your uniqueness is your greatest asset? Owning your uniqueness means embracing who you are, flaws and all, and recognizing that your individuality is not something to hide or apologize for. It's something to celebrate. It's about understanding that the qualities that make you different are often the very things that will set you apart and push you to places others can't reach. Think about it. Every successful person, whether they're an artist, a business leader, or an inventor, it's easy to get caught up in the pressure to conform. But here's the truth. When you try to fit into a mold, you'll always be just like everyone else. But when you own your uniqueness, you become unforgettable. You carve your own path, and in doing so, you create space for others to do the same. So, stop trying to be like anyone else. Stop thinking you need to change yourself to fit some ideal of success or perfection. Own your uniqueness, and you'll discover that it's not only what makes you stand out, it's what makes you unstoppable. The world loves certainty. It thrives on routines, rules, and easy answers. But the moment you stop questioning everything around you, you stop growing, you stop evolving, you stop creating the future. Questioning isn't about being rebellious for the sake of it. It's about refusing to accept things just because they've always been that way. It's about digging deeper, searching for the truth beyond what is shown on the surface. It's about challenging assumptions and asking, is this really the best way? Could there be another path? What if we did things different? When you start questioning everything, you begin to uncover new perspectives. You start to see opportunities where others see limitations. You challenge yourself, your beliefs, and even the established systems that may be holding you back. In questioning, you open the door to innovation, discovery, and growth. Don't be afraid to question authority, to question the status quo, or even to question your own thinking. Sometimes the answers we accept today are just old beliefs that need to be reevaluated in light of new information. The most transformative changes happen when someone looks at the world, questions how things are, and imagines how things could be. So, ask yourself, what can I question today? What can I challenge? What truths am I accepting that may not actually be true? Question everything, not to disrupt, but to create something better, something more meaningful, something that pushes the boundaries of what is possible. Because the moment you stop questioning is the moment you stop evolving. And in this world, evolution is the key to greatness. Every single one of us has limitations, whether they're external obstacles or internal doubts. It's easy to look at those limitations and let them define us. We say, this is too hard, I'm not good enough, or it can't be done. But what if those limitations aren't the end of the road? What if they're just the beginning of something greater? Seeing beyond the limitations means refusing to let obstacles stop you. It's about understanding that limitations are not fixed. They're often just perceived barriers waiting to be pushed through. Your mind, your determination, and your creativity have the power to shatter those walls. Think about it. Every innovation we enjoy today was once deemed impossible. Every breakthrough was once considered a wild idea. People who saw beyond the limitations, who refused to accept the can't be done, were the ones who changed the game. Seeing beyond the limitations means looking at a problem not as something that holds you back, but as something that challenges you to find. The truth is, the only real limitations are the ones you place on yourself. If you believe something is impossible, you've already closed the door to potential. So, stop seeing the wall and start seeing the ladder. Stop focusing on what you can't do and start focusing on what you can do. Because once you see beyond the limitations, you realize they were never the problem. You were. And once you shift your perspective, you unlock the path to greatness. That is a natural part of the human experience. At some point, we all face that voice in our head that tells us we're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough to achieve what we want. But here's the thing about doubt. It's not the enemy. In fact, it can be the fuel that propels you to places you never imagined. When doubt creeps in, it's easy to let it paralyze you. It can make you second guess yourself, question your worth, or convince you that your dreams are out of reach. But what if, instead of letting that doubt hold you back, you turned it into your greatest source of motivation? Doubt can be a sign that you're on the right path. It means you're stepping outside your comfort zone, pushing boundaries and taking risks. The bigger the dream, the greater the doubt that accompanies it. Instead of running from it, embrace it. Let it drive you. Let it remind you that you're about to do something worth doing. When doubt comes, ask yourself, what's so terrifying about this? Is it fear of failure? Fear of judgment? Maybe fear of success? Whatever the reason, recognize it for what it is. Just fear. And fear, when faced head-on, loses its power. Now, turn that fear into something powerful. Turn that doubt into determination. Every time you doubt yourself, use it as a reminder to push harder. Let it fuel your ambition, sharpen your focus, and ignite your drive. Because here's the truth. Doubt will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you. When you turn doubt into drive, you unlock the power to keep moving forward, no matter how uncertain the path may seem. And in that persistence, you'll find the strength to achieve everything you ever believed you couldn't. So, next time doubt knocks, failure is often seen as the enemy, the thing we fear the most, the thing that keeps us from taking risks or pushing ourselves further. But what if failure isn't the end? What if it's the beginning of something much bigger and more important than we ever imagined? To be fearless in failure is to understand that failure isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. Every successful person, every innovator, every trailblazer has experienced failure in some form. What sets them apart isn't that they succeeded on their first try, it's that they didn't let failure define them. They used it as a stepping stone. Failure teaches us things success never could. It shows us what doesn't work, what needs to be adjusted, and what we can do better next time. It forces us to innovate, adapt, and think differently. Without failure, there would be no growth, no lessons, and no breakthroughs. Being fearless in failure means refusing to let it break you. It's about looking at failure and saying, I tried, I learned, I'll do it better next time. It's about taking those lessons and applying them with confidence, knowing that failure doesn't define your potential, it refines it. We've all heard the phrase, fail forward. But to truly fail forward, you have to understand that failure doesn't set you back, it propels you. It's the chance to start again, only wiser and stronger than before. So don't let the fear of failure keep you from taking risks. Don't let it hold you back from pursuing your dreams. Be fearless in failure, because it's not the falling that matters, it's the getting back up, the lessons learned, and the courage to try again that leads to greatness. Remember, failure isn't fatal. It's just the beginning of a new opportunity to succeed. And as long as you keep moving forward, there's no such thing as failure, only growth. There are many voices in this world. People who will tell you who you should be, what you should do, and how you should live. They'll offer advice, share opinions, and lay out paths they think are best. But here's the truth. No one else has the right to write your story except you. Writing your own story means taking full ownership of your life. It's about deciding who you are, what you stand for, and where you want to go. It means refusing to let others define you by their expectations, stereotypes, or limitations. It's your life. We all face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But when you take control of your narrative, you begin to see those challenges not as roadblocks, but as chapters that add depth to your story. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, every failure a lesson, and every triumph a testament to your resilience. To write your own story, you need to be bold enough to take risks, to make mistakes, and to step into the unknown. It's about trusting your instincts, following your passion, and having the courage to pursue what truly matters to you. Whether it's a career, a cause, or a dream that others may not understand. And remember, there's no timeline. You don't need to follow someone else's path. Your story is uniquely yours, and it doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out, if you're taking a detour, or if you've experienced failure along the way. Every page you write is another step toward creating a life that reflects who you truly are. So, what do you want your story to say? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Your story is not written in one chapter. It's written in every decision you make, every challenge you face, and every victory you claim. You have the pen in your hand, and the story is yours to tell. Write it boldly, write it authentically, and above all, write it with purpose. Because the best stories aren't the ones that follow a predictable path. They're the ones that are lived with passion, conviction, and an unshakable belief that the future is yours to create. So, I ask you now, what will your story be? Will you let others hold the pen, or will you take charge and write your own? The pages are blank, waiting for you to fill them with moments of courage, resilience, and triumph. Don't let fear, doubt, or anyone else's idea of success dictate your narrative. This is your journey, and the power to create something remarkable lies within you. Write your story with passion, with purpose, and without apology. Be the hero of your own tale. Embrace the challenges that come your way. And never forget that you have the strength to turn every chapter into something. Remember, the greatest stories are not written in the comfort zone. They are written when we step into the unknown, when we take chances, and when we refuse to let anyone else define our worth. So go ahead, pick up that pen, and start writing. Your story is waiting to be told, and it's going to be legendary.